You want to know the craziest thing I ever saw at 30,000 feet? It wasn't some freak turbulence or an engine fire. No, what I'll never get out of my head is the image of my own 7-year-old daughter, Lily, standing in the aisle of a plane, bleeding from her shoulder, while a woman who used to be our neighbor just stood there smiling, holding a bloody pin like she'd just won a prize. If you'd told me something like this would happen to my family on a flight I was piloting, no less, I would have called you insane. But here I am telling you exactly how it happened, because you really can't make this stuff up. I'm David Mitchell, airline captain, 15 years in the sky. I've seen it all: emergency landings, white-knuckle storms, you name it. But nothing in my training prepared me for the day. Evil came after my kid. That morning started the way you want any vacation to start. Lily and I were flying from Denver to Orlando for her first big trip to Disney World. Just me and my little girl, finally doing something happy after the year from hell. We'd lost her mom, my wife Sarah, to cancer 6 months before. I'd promised Lily that we'd make new memories, that there was still magic in the world even if it didn't feel like it. Lily's the kind of kid who makes everybody's day better just by existing. She's small for her age, all wild blonde curls and these huge green eyes that always seem to be searching for something wonderful. She shares her cookies without being asked, says thank you when she's upset. Just a gentle, kind soul. The sort of little girl who sees butterflies and says they're angels. After everything she'd been through, hospitals, funerals, crying for her mom at night, I wanted to give her something good again. I wanted to see her smile, you know. Now, the airline has this policy for pilot families. So Lily was flying as an unaccompanied minor up in first class with our best flight attendants, Jessica and Maria, looking out for her while I was stuck in the cockpit doing my job. They promised they'd treat her like gold coloring books, extra cookies, the works. Jessica even sat with her at takeoff, holding her hand, explaining how Daddy makes the big plane fly. I'd checked on Lily before boarding, kissed her head, and told her I'd see her in Orlando. Then there's Karen Blackwood. Yeah, that name probably sounds like the villain in some bad movie, but let me tell you, she was worse in real life. Karen had been our neighbor for 2 years in the Sunset Hills HOA, and she made it her life's work to make us miserable complaints about our grass, about our trash cans, about Lily's pink bike ruining property values. When Sarah was sick and had lost all her hair, Karen actually told her maybe she should wear a wig to get the mail so she wouldn't make the neighbors uncomfortable. That's the kind of cruelty I'm talking about. And after Sarah passed, she doubled down. Called the HOA about cars parked during the funeral, griped about sympathy. Flowers even banged on our fence with a bat when Lily cried at night. But 3 weeks before our trip, Karen crossed a new line. Lily had this therapy dog, Hope, a golden retriever so gentle she'd barely barked in her life. Karen came stomping over red-faced, claiming Hope was disturbing her. Meditation dog was asleep, by the way. When I explained the dog was quiet, she just sneered and said, "That child needs to get over her mother's death and stop acting like a victim. Death is a natural part of life." I had to physically restrain myself from saying what I really thought. She was obsessed, and when she found out about our Disney trip, she somehow got our flight info and booked herself on the same flight. I swear I should have known. She called the night before, phony sweet, "I hope you and your daughter have a wonderful trip." Sometimes kids need firm guidance on airplanes. Chills. But I never dreamed she'd hurt Lily. Day of the flight. I'm doing my usual cockpit routine, running checklists, when Jessica comes in and mentions an unaccompanied minor in first class and a woman in coach who'd asked a ton of weirdly detailed questions about Lily's seat assignment, flight duration, all that. Jessica describes her severe gray hair, cold blue eyes, designer clothes demanding attitude. My stomach drops. It's Karen. I pull Jessica aside, tell her this woman's been harassing us for months. Don't let her near Lily, not for a second. First 3 hours go fine. Jessica checks in Lily's drawing. Mickey Mouse handing out pillows, chatting about the rides she wants to do at Disney, actually acting like a normal kid again. Meanwhile, Karen is just watching from her seat, not saying a word. Waiting. The attack happens during beverage service. Lights are down for the afternoon movie. Jessica and Maria are busy in the galley. Karen gets up, walks to first class, and according to witnesses, smiles at Lily, says hello, recognizes her from the neighborhood, acts all grandmotherly. Then her voice turns loud enough for people to hear. She tells Lily, "Some children get too excited and cause problems. We wouldn't want anything bad to happen because a child couldn't control herself, would we?" Lily just says, "I'm being good," like her mama taught her. That's when Karen drops the act. "You think you're special because your daddy's the pilot. Well, I'm going to teach you a lesson." Before anyone can stop her, she stabs Lily in the shoulder with a heavy metal pen she'd taken from business class. Stabs her. My little girl screams pure terrified agony. Blood soaks her pink shirt. Everything after that's a blur. Passengers screaming, phones out, kids crying, Jessica running to help, pressing towels to Lily's wound, Maria calling me on the intercom. "Captain Mitchell, your daughter's been attacked. We have a medical emergency. We need to land now." My hands were shaking so bad on the controls I thought I'd break something. The urge to run back and deal with Karen myself was almost overwhelming, but I couldn't. I had 200 lives in my hands. I declare an emergency divert to Kansas City. Tell ATC we need paramedics and federal agents at the gate. Meanwhile, Karen's not even sorry, she's actually bragging. That spoiled brat had it coming, she says to everyone around her. Her father thinks he's special. Mrs. Chin, a retired teacher from San Francisco, records everything. "Ma'am, you stabbed a grieving child." Karen just shrugs. Some kids need to learn respect the hard way. Her mother's dead, so someone has to teach her the world doesn't revolve around her problems. Dr. Amanda Foster, a pediatric surgeon. Talk about luck in a crisis, jumps in bandages. Lily keeps her calm, checks the wound. "You're going to be okay, sweetheart," she tells her. "You did nothing wrong." Lily just cries, asking for me, asking why the mean lady hurt her. It's the most helpless I've ever felt. Passengers restrain Karen, who's still spewing hate, saying she should have hit Lily harder. When we land, paramedics rush Lily off for stitches, 12 in all. No major damage, but plenty of trauma. FBI and air marshals haul Karen off the plane in cuffs. Lily clings to me, sobbing. "I was being good, Daddy. Why did she hurt me?" The federal case moved fast. Dozens of witnesses, phone videos, Karen's own confession on tape. She gets charged with assault on a minor, aggravated assault on an aircraft, federal hate crimes, the works. Never shows a drop of remorse, tells investigators she'd do it again if she had to. That children of pilots think they're special. Her lawyer tries for insanity, but the jury isn't buying it. Not with all those recordings, not with her own history of harassing us. Lily had to testify by video, too young and too scared for the courtroom. The whole room cried when she said I was being good like Daddy told me. I thought maybe I did something wrong. The judge, a hard man by all accounts, calls Karen's actions the most cowardly thing he's seen in 25 years. 8 years in federal prison, plus restitution. A lifetime restraining order, banned from flying forever, kicked out of the HOA. Finally, some justice. Lily healed slowly. 6 months of therapy nightmares for a year. But she made it. When we finally made it to Disney World a year later, she told me her scar was her brave mark, proof that she survived something terrible and came out stronger. She's 10 now, tougher and kinder than any kid I've ever known. Karen, she lost her house, her license, her reputation, everything. She got the lesson she always wanted to dish out. And yet every now and then I wonder how many Karens are out there still full of hate, waiting for someone vulnerable to hurt. How would you have handled it if it was your child? I told you my story because this isn't just about revenge or justice. It's about the world we let our kids grow up in. Do we let people like that win? Or do we stand up every single time and say, "Not today, not on my watch"? Let me know in the comments. What would you have done if it were your kid on that flight? Where do you draw the line between justice and mercy? I want to hear your stories, because this is bigger than just mine. If you made it this far, share your thoughts. And let's talk about what real community means, because trust me, you never know when you'll need it.